Live television has a habit of catching people off guard. Whether it's a sudden slip-up or an unplanned incident, anything can unfold when the cameras are rolling. Sometimes these raw, unscripted moments lead to unforgettable and often downright hilarious scenes that end up going viral. Today, we're diving into some of the most unexpected and wildly inappropriate moments ever broadcast on live TV. From Jeremy Corbyn's painfully awkward high five to a green screen fail that turned into pure chaos, here are 15 of the most jaw-dropping moments ever aired live. Number 15. Nicole Richie's face smack high five. Nicole Richie's visit to a live talk show was meant to spotlight her comedy series Great News, but midway through, an unintended gag stole the spotlight. After sharing how excited she was to see rain in New York, something rare in drought-hit Los Angeles, she and host Kat Greenleaf tried to high-five in celebration. That's when the misfire hit. Greenleaf, aiming too high, accidentally smacked Richie right in the face. Her sunglasses flew off. The room froze for a beat before bursting into laughter. Richie took it in stride, quickly regaining her cool. The awkwardness didn't kill the vibe, it lifted it. The rest of the interview continued with light teasing, and the accidental slap turned into the segment's most memorable moment. Sometimes, live television doesn't need scripts or punchlines, just a poorly timed high five and someone willing to laugh through it. Richie did exactly that, earning even more applause just by staying real. Number 14. Piers Morgan gets pied on live TV. During Good Morning Britain, Piers Morgan found himself on the receiving end of more than just strong opinions. A guest comedian, fed up with Morgan's jabs, decided to get even right there on live TV. He stood up, grabbed a pie laced with shaving foam, and slammed it straight into Morgan's face. For a second, the studio froze. Then chaos. Morgan, unfazed, grabbed a second pie and launched it at co-host Susanna Reid, starting an impromptu pie fight that turned the news desk into a comedy sketch. The segment spiraled into total absurdity, and the crowd loved it. What was supposed to be a routine interview about an upcoming tour turned into a viral TV moment, with GIFs, memes, and headlines flying. For once, it wasn't politics, but foam that got the last word. Morgan later tweeted about it with pride, fully leaning into the moment. It wasn't planned. That's what made it gold. Number 13. Ben Shepherd's ice bath chaos. Well, now, this is just totally embarrassing. On Good Morning Britain, what started as a feel-good fundraiser turned into an ice-cold splash of reality. Ben Shepherd had promised to dunk himself in a freezing tub to support the Children's Heart Unit Fund. So, suit and all, he climbed into the tub on live TV. But the surprise didn't end there. When co-host Kate Garraway leaned in to comment, Ben didn't hesitate. He pulled her straight in with him. In a floral dress and pastel heels, Kate landed in his lap, drenched and laughing in disbelief. The studio erupted. Singer Beverly Knight, also on set, couldn't contain her laughter. What should have been a 2-second dip became a hilarious, soaked mess. And while the cause stayed front and center, the clip's real legacy was in its chaotic joy. The water was freezing, but the mood? Pure comedy. Viewers couldn't get enough, and the moment lived on way past that morning's airtime. Number 12. Jeremy Corbyn's high five fail. During a moment of celebration on British television, Jeremy found himself the star of a different kind of headline. The Labour Party was riding high after a favorable vote count, and Corbyn, known for shaking up the status quo, was visibly elated. In the middle of the jubilation, he reached out to high-five a fellow party member. But the timing was totally off. His hand hung in the air awkwardly as the other person missed the cue entirely. The botched gesture played out live, and the entire atmosphere shifted from political triumph to second-hand embarrassment. The clip quickly made rounds online, where it was praised not for the politics, but for the raw human awkwardness. In a world where politicians are often overly polished, Corbyn's moment stood out as unintentionally relatable. The missed high five became a symbol, funny, flawed, and oddly charming, reminding viewers that even the most public figures can stumble when the cameras don't cut. Number 11. Raymond Arroyo's tumble live on air. Fox News contributor Raymond Arroyo tried to go for a playful moment. One quick selfie with a prop beer bottle and co-host Laura Ingraham. But sadly, it didn't go quite as planned. While leaning in with one hand on the chair and the other balancing his drink, Arroyo lost control. In a flash, he toppled sideways and hit the floor. Cameras kept rolling. Ingraham, without missing a beat, smoothly transitioned back into a serious segment on Judge Brett Kavanaugh. Meanwhile, Arroyo, ever the showman, called out from the ground with a grin, "Did we get the shot?" Now, laughter filled the studio. The clip spread fast across platforms. While many news moments fade, this one stuck, not because of what was discussed, but because of how a single unscripted slip turned into a TV highlight. Later, Ingraham confirmed on Twitter that Arroyo wasn't hurt. Just his pride, maybe. But even that took it well. What do you think about it? Let us know. Number 10. Tyra Banks' rabies prank. On her talk show, Tyra stunned her audience in a segment that started with concern but ended in disbelief. She walked out slowly, apologizing for being bitten by a dog and mentioning a recent hospital visit to test for rabies. The audience grew quiet. Then it escalated. Fast. As she took her seat, foam began appearing at the corners of her mouth. Her movements grew erratic, her face twitched, and she suddenly lunged toward the crowd. Panic set in. Gasps filled the studio. But just when it seemed like something had gone wrong, the twist dropped. Tyra grinned and revealed it was all an elaborate prank. The foam, the aggression, the breakdown, carefully staged. The crowd, half relieved and half stunned, laughed in disbelief. Tyra's stunt walked a tightrope between shock and showmanship. It may not have landed well with everyone, but it certainly left a lasting impression. Few hosts could pull off something that bold and walk away still smiling. Number 9. Shane Byrne's champagne scandal. British Superbike champion Shane caused an uproar in 2013, this time not on the racetrack. During a victory celebration, Byrne followed the tradition of popping champagne on the podium. But then he aimed the bottle spray directly under a woman's skirt. Cameras captured it. Online backlash came quickly. Many saw it as more than just a party gone too far. It was invasive, disrespectful, and completely avoidable. Byrne posted an apology on Instagram once the clip started going viral, trying to explain the moment away as a joke. But for a lot of people, the damage was done. The stunt opened a wider discussion about what's considered playful in sports celebrations, and when those moments cross the line into something else entirely. The incident didn't just cost him a clean public image, it triggered conversations that the racing world couldn't dodge. No one's laughing when the so-called fun comes at someone else's expense. Number 8. Kanye hijacks Taylor Swift's moment. At the 2009 MTV Video Music Awards, Taylor had just stepped on stage to accept her award for Best Female Video when Kanye interrupted the show, literally. Grabbing the mic mid-speech, he told the world that Beyoncé had one of the best videos of all time. Swift, shocked and speechless, stood frozen as the crowd booed. The moment flipped from celebration to chaos in seconds. That single outburst triggered one of the longest-running feuds in pop culture. Kanye's interruption wasn't just rude, it was broadcast worldwide and instantly turned the awards show into headline material. The fallout lasted years. Debates exploded about respect, ego, and the way women are treated in entertainment. Beyoncé later tried to make it right, inviting Swift back on stage during her own win. But the damage had been done. What should have been Taylor's moment became Kanye's scandal, and the echo of that mic grab still hasn't faded. Number 7. Reporter slapped during BBC interview. Ben Brown was mid-interview on BBC News in Bradford when things spiraled fast. The segment focused on Labour's election manifesto, with Brown speaking alongside political editor Norman Smith. Out of nowhere, a lady in a leopard print blouse stepped between them, excitedly saying, "Absolutely amazing!" Brown, trying to keep the interview on track, gently pushed her aside, but his hand accidentally brushed her chest. That one move flipped the entire vibe. The woman turned, slapped Brown's shoulder on air, and stormed off without another word. Audiences reacted instantly, and within hours, the incident trended online. Accusations flew, some calling it harassment, others defending Brown's intent. The woman's identity was never confirmed, adding more layers to the story. Brown continued the segment, maintaining his composure, but the moment stuck around far longer than any policy discussion. It reminded everyone that even small slips in live broadcasts can carry major weight and go global before the cameras even cool down. Number 6. Button the Lamb makes headlines. Reporting live for BBC Northern Ireland, journalist Conor Macaulay was covering a very heartwarming story about a baby lamb named Button. Standing beside the gentle creature, Macaulay spoke warmly about her journey and the family raising her. But right in the middle of the segment, Button decided to mark the moment, literally. Without warning, the lamb relieved herself directly onto Macaulay's boot, all while the cameras kept rolling. Rather than freeze or panic, Macaulay chuckled and casually shook off the incident. His calm response made the moment even funnier. The footage exploded online. What started as a sweet segment on animal care turned into an international viral clip. Viewers around the world were charmed by Button's mischievous cameo, and the BBC didn't miss a beat, quickly sharing the full clip on social media. The lamb unintentionally reminded everyone that live TV can't be scripted, and sometimes the most memorable stories are the ones you never saw coming, literally and figuratively. Number 5. The green screen disaster. In Los Angeles, a morning weather report unintentionally turned into a comedy sketch when a news anchor chose the worst possible outfit. Dressed in a vibrant green dress, the same shade as the weather map behind her, the anchor slowly disappeared on live TV as the chroma key kicked in. Instead of a professional forecast, viewers watched as her torso morphed into clouds and temperatures. Realizing the blunder, she broke into laughter on air. Her co-anchor rushed over, dramatically draping his oversized jacket around her shoulders, making her look like she'd been swallowed by a trench coat. The studio erupted. What should have been a minor on-air glitch turned into an unexpected gem. The segment, equal parts surreal and ridiculous, was replayed countless times as a highlight of live TV unpredictability. Even after the broadcast returned to schedule, viewers kept replaying the moment online, celebrating it not just as a mistake, but as proof that even seasoned pros can get blindsided by a wardrobe choice. All right, now let's move to Number 4. Lewis Walsh's uncomfortable gesture on X Factor. During a live broadcast of The X Factor in 2014, something off-script turned the show sour. As judges sat at the panel, cameras caught Lewis Walsh resting his hand behind fellow judge Mel B in a way that didn't sit right. She noticed and wasn't having it. Mid-broadcast, she called him out, pushing his hand away and visibly showing her discomfort. Walsh tried to laugh it off, offering a half-hearted excuse about just being supportive. But Mel wasn't smiling. Neither was the audience. Social media lit up instantly, slamming Walsh's behavior and questioning why it happened in the first place. The clip spread fast, sparking a deeper conversation about personal boundaries, even on reality TV. No apology followed that night, and the silence spoke volumes. For a show built on talent and showmanship, that moment was neither. It became a reminder that crossing the line, even in a joking way, isn't part of the act. That old guy deserves what he did. Number 3. Will Smith shuts down red carpet prank. At the Men in Black 3 premiere in Moscow, Will Smith ran into more than just fans. As he made his way down the red carpet, a well-known Ukrainian prankster approached, pretending to go in for a friendly hug. But things got weird fast. The man suddenly tried to kiss Smith on the cheeks, and possibly the lips. Smith didn't laugh it off. He instinctively shoved the man back and gave him a quick slap across the face. Cameras caught everything. The footage flew across the internet, leaving fans split. Some applauded Smith's reaction, others thought it was too much. Later in interviews, Smith explained that the prankster got too close, crossing personal boundaries. He even joked that the guy was lucky he didn't react worse. The moment sparked headlines worldwide and ended up being discussed on The Late Show with David Letterman. It wasn't staged and it wasn't scripted, just a star catching someone testing limits in real time. Number 2. Professor's interview crashed by his kids. Professor Robert Kelly was mid-discussion on South Korean politics during a live BBC interview when something unforgettable happened. His kids barged in. First came his toddler, marching confidently across the room, followed by a baby and a bouncer, rolling in with chaotic timing. Seconds later, his wife dashed in, scrambling to pull them out of frame while crouching in panic mode. Kelly, stunned but composed, tried to stay focused on geopolitics while his home life unraveled behind him. The clip instantly exploded online, not because of the topic, but because of how real it was. No filters, no fakery. Just a professor trying to keep it together while parenting happened live on air. The moment struck a chord with millions balancing remote work and family life. Instead of embarrassment, it became a symbol of working parents worldwide trying to survive the impossible. BBC kept the interview online, and Robert Kelly handled it like a legend. Number 1. Nina Dobrev's scorpion pose with Conan. Actress Nina Dobrev brought her athleticism center stage during a live appearance with Conan O'Brien and gave the audience a moment they didn't expect. Known for her yoga practice and fearless sense of humor, Dobrev decided to demonstrate one of the most difficult poses, the scorpion. Typically done with the support of a wall, she instead asked Conan to be her prop. With careful positioning, she flipped herself into a full inverted pose, balancing on her forearms with her legs bent over, heels near Conan's torso. The studio held its breath. Conan, caught between admiration and confusion, did his best to stay still while she held the pose. The chemistry between the two, light and unfiltered, turned the stunt into something unforgettable. The crowd erupted into applause. It wasn't just the skill, it was the confidence, timing, and trust on display. The segment had everything: strength, comedy, and just the right amount of chaos, wrapped in a live TV moment people kept replaying. If you've enjoyed this video, be sure to like, share, and subscribe for more content like this. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you soon.